Holy snapping duck shit.
My good mate from Bump and Run Booker joins us.
I'm excited for another great show tonight. Give it the hoot nanny.
Welcome along to Trackside with Kokpit, brought to you by GARAGE16. It's another show that may look a little bit different to our viewers who regularly jump in nice and early to watch the show at 7:30 every Wednesday. And obviously the significance difference is my good friend is sitting in something looking like he's at a big flash bar. I'm kind of hidden behind it, and behind me is the Speedway NZ Awards finalists, kind of bit of a brief thing there. But Books, mate, how are you?
Oh, not too bad. I'm not feeling the greatest today, but like I said, it's the show must go on, as we say each time, mate. So yeah, I'm feeling a bit under the weather, but I think we'll be right. Hopefully, everything will come right. And sitting here in the new Kokpit Media Bar studio that we had made, I'll give people a proper tour of that when it's actually finished properly. I'm sort of only a quarter or sort of over halfway done at the moment, but the pictures they can see behind me, Kins, you got all the this one here is Josh, Ethan and Asher. The one over here is the Giants. Over here is Josh Prentice as well, and Josh behind me up the top. Those are all going to be taken to Gizzy on Friday to be auctioned off for his help Josh get to the UK and represent us Kiwis over there, mate.
Yeah, exactly. There's a fair bit going on over in Gizzy, and we're very, very lucky. We got, of course, Sam Hughes joining us not too far away, but that's what Book is alluding to, get Josh to the UK to represent, like you say. There's a big night Friday. They got their prize giving on Saturday, auction raffle, so go along and check it out, and those are the details that you'll need to acquire to get yourself there to help support Josh. I also do know, too, that Scott Tennant is also doing some events around. You'll see him on the social media as well. He's going over to the UK. So, yeah, looking forward to seeing how that goes, mate. But let's hope, you and I were kind of both under that kind of weather at the moment. And, well, hopefully no slips happen at the Waiweka Gorge and I can maybe get through and hopefully your health turns a bit better.
Yeah, mate, I think we'll be right. We'll be right. We just, I'm always positive. It takes a little bit more to knock me over than a few sniffles and whatever. But, yeah, mate, and it was pretty humbling, I suppose you could say, and overwhelming to be told today that we're a finalist in a couple of categories in the Speedway New Zealand Awards. So, yeah, that's very humbling. So thanks to those that put us forward or nominate us. We appreciate that. At the end of the day, myself and Kins, we don't do this show about interview out there, so we appreciate you guys giving us feedback and putting us forward. I even forgot the categories, Kins. What are the categories that we've made it into?
Yeah, we've made it into the best media. We'll be up against CRC Motorsports in the Methanol Madness. We're also done the best in the finalists for I'll go back to that one. That's brought to you by Technical Welding Services, the online presence of the year, thanks to Humphreys, Steel and Performance. We're up against HLR Racing and Morgan Dumlo as well. But yeah, just recognition and thanks to those who nominated us. And just reiterate what Booker said, we do it for the fun and the love of the sport. And hey, we always say it's not only us two. There's a whole lot of people that make it what it is for us, that's been behind us, around us, that supported us, and they all know who they are. I'm not going to sit here and name in every individual because I'm going to miss someone out. But hey, it's all recognition to them. And we do it for the love of the sport. And it's not just Speedway too, because Books loves his rally. He goes down the line with his good friends and everything like that. We do other motorsport, but in this regards, we're on our way to buy our tickets. And
I suppose we better buy some tickets and go to the Speedway Awards now, eh? Hey, kids, go sit at the table in our flash gears. I'll go there with my shorts and jandals. I think would they let me in with my jandals, bro? What do you reckon?
Yeah, they will, bro. They will. You'll get in there. You'll get in there. I just got to wear one of my council suits and I'm all good.
Yeah. Oh, bit of fun,
But you
I
know,
tell you.
congratulations to every single finalist. This isn't an easy approach to actually get these people as a finalist because so many get nominated. So to each and one of you in every category, there is just so many categories. I was just
Oh,
going through it, bro. I was just checking it all out. I tell you what. These like finalists in all of the racing categories. You go through to the youth categories, then you head on down to the events, initiatives, articles, perseverance, Speedway of the Year, senior officials, track officials. There's just so many categories that are recognized. And congratulations to each and one of you. Want to come along? Got $160. Well, you can join Booker and I there as well.
Well, that's right, mate. You know, like it's it's. I mean, I sort of, to be honest, I thought far out, $160. Wow, shit. But you get a meal and you get everything else with it as well. So I suppose it's just like going out for dinner and, you know, having a few drinks, I suppose, isn't it? Just very similar to the same. So, and at the end of the day, they put us up in a nice venue to do it all, and it'd be interesting for me actually, kids. I'm I'm thinking about it after I spoke to you today on the phone. You know, like. It's going to be a different experience for us, you know, because just to be around all that and those awards and all those people, and there'd be so many amazing people there, I would imagine, you know, different stars of different classes and just all of that, you know, and the stigma around it. I think it's going to be, I'm quite excited now after talking to you, thinking it could be an exciting night. Whether you win or lose, it's still going to be an exciting night, you know, and we're going to go and have some fun and talk some shit to people and, you know, have some shits and giggles and, yeah, should be good fun, actually. Yeah, I'm enjoying it. And it's something to break up, I suppose, that off-season, isn't it, where we're stuck in a lull waiting for our tracks to put out our calendars to get excited about. There's a few have put them out already, and Meeanee's one of those, which we're talking to Regan tonight. And, you know, they just, you've got to fill that off-season up with something, don't you, when you're not actually a race car driver?
Yeah, definitely, you know, so I look forward to the event, the awards dinner, Dewdrop Event Centre in Monaco, Auckland, the 5th of July. I'm not too sure what's going to happen from that awards night, but like Booker said, I've done many of these over my life in the radio industry. I've been recognised for so much in some of this and picked up a few awards, but for me, it's different. It's just like another night for me. But for you, I'm looking forward to actually being with you and sharing this with you because we've done the show together for the last 3 years as a bit of a spin-off. And just to give you a quick little brief on it, you pretty well asked, you want to go do da-da-da-da? And I don't say the word no that often. And of course, yes, let's just go and do it. But just think 3 years later, we're going to be sitting amongst a lot of prestigious people who deserve to be recognised in their own right in their different categories to be part of that. Like you say, Books, it's quite a special night for you and I.
Yeah, and, you know, to put into concept, I mean, we have done a fair bit. I mean, like, there's been 2 off-seasons where we've just gone straight through them. We haven't stopped and had a break and done it. But look, and for those that missed out as well, you all, like we said in our thank you post, you all have done such a great job this season, you know, like your Blake Speedway, your Sharms with Sparky, your the Racer's Edge, Troy Adamson, and you know, there's so many names I forget that I could say, you know, that have just all contributed to make our sport better and give out information at tracks and live updates and stuff like that. And then you've got your media streaming companies, you know, the Pits Media, the Video Hub, the Broadcast Co. They all do their part, you know, and they all have a place in representing and putting our sport out there for everybody, you know, and I'm just proud to be a part of that with all those other media people and photography people that are doing it, mate. I mean, without all of them, the fans just wouldn't have it, and social media's help with that. But just to be a part of that with all those people, no matter who they are, you know, Capture Media is another one. J Mac Chronicles, he's been around for how long doing it, you know. Bump and Run Shutterbug, another new one that's come through, you know. There's just so many kins that are just done, and Morgan Dunlow Sport that's been nominated with us. She's really put herself on the map this year with her videos and the stuff she's done around the New Zealand champs and stuff. I mean, everybody has just done a fantastic job and promoting the sport. And if we got more people promoting the sport, well, then that's great, you know. There's enough room for everybody.
Yeah, definitely.
Legacy Speed Media. Almost forgot our mate Maru, mate. Sorry. You know, he does all the drawings and he's always there at Meeanee taking photos, and he's been with me, and him have done a lot of road trips this year, and just that, these photographers, they go there each night, mate, and they'll take 200-300 photos in a night. Graham Hughes, it's incredible.
Yeah, you're right. I agree with you 100%, and our mate that joined us throughout this new segment with the Speedway of Excellence Awards, AMS. And it's the social media impact that everyone has had on the sport of Speedway from the images. See, for those who didn't get up to Taipa, all you had to do was keep an eye on Blake Speedway. He travels all those time at him, Jennifer, and she got to race the stock car, Wayne Otten. They cover it all for everyone out there. So the social media impact has been massive. You got that little niggly bit, which is a bit negative, but I'm not going to go there.
It's unfortunate, but
I'm going to celebrate the highlights, and that's what we need to be doing right now, because the awards night is only 3 or 4 weeks away, the 5th of July up there in Manukau, Auckland. But we're here to highlight and talk to tracks. And tonight we're going to head to a track that I know you've enjoyed.
Oh,
very,
I love it.
Very fast.
Two of my favourite tracks tonight, mate.
I know your home track. And we're going to bring in Sam Hughes. I think he's going to be sitting there.
Yeah.
He's having a big party.
He's having a party, yeah.
He found out he was going to be on his show, and he created a big party. You can hear it in the background. Sam, how are you, mate?
Yeah, good, thanks.
Where do we start with your season? Like Booker said, one of the best tracks he enjoys going to. He bet many a weekend over there that he could make it to Gizzy. Where's some of your highlights, mate? What's some of your highlights of the season?
Oh, probably for us, definitely our North Island Superstocks. That was pretty good. But yeah, we had a really good finish. Our last meeting of the year with a two-nighter and that. We had 35 races, and all the classes were pretty well full. It was good to see.
I suppose in just normal Speedway terms, there's a big season that takes a lot of preparation, Sam. There's not only yourself, there's the committee, these are volunteers that get behind to produce it all. You've got to kind of nut out a program that's going to work, because you don't want to be competing against the others. But mind you, you've got a few good hours in between years, but it's a lot of work that goes into putting out a program.
Yeah, definitely. We're lucky we don't pay any of our staff or anything, so we've sort of got to take that into consideration. We sort of run 50-odd volunteers on a night that we don't pay any of them.
Wow.
So, yeah, it takes a bit of planning, but you get there eventually.
Right, so where does it start for you, Sam? Because I know you race your stock car, your super stock, and when do you sit down and do you get a bit of a break? Because I know you got a big night on Friday, Saturday, which I'll touch on soon, but when do you start preparing 25, 26?
As soon as our prize giving's finished, we're sort of going to try and set a calendar.
We hear that all the time, books?
Oh, mate. Look, I just think with the Gizzy track and I love the fact that drivers want to go back there because of the hospitality and the fun they have at the track, which is really it's like none of it. Reminds me a lot of the South Island tracks we went to, kids, to be honest, with the Gizzy track. But you really did prove to yourselves and prove to everyone this year that you can run a big meeting. That North Island meeting went absolutely smooth and swimmingly, didn't it? It just flowed, Sam. It was just a great meeting, and it proved that you can do it on the big stage out of the Awapuni Speedway.
Yeah, definitely. We put a lot of preparation into putting in more seating and new toilets and new everything, so we can sort of get onto that league where we can actually run a proper event. We're just planning on putting in new lights at the moment, and half a wall and a few other bits.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think in the next 2 years, hopefully we've lifted a whole other level again.
It's good to hear. Look, at the start of the show, Booker and I were talking about the SNZ Awards, and I do note too on your Facebook page here as well, Superstock Competitor of the Year. You got Josh Prentice, a big night coming up on Friday. Ethan Rees, Stock Competitor of the Year as well. That's all in there with Brittany and Ethan Cook for Saloon, Youth Mini Stock, Kobe Gooch. That's recognition of those drivers that represent the G.
Yeah, definitely. We've actually had a really good year on the national stage, across the board. We've had, street stock championships. We've had super stock championships. We've had saloon car championships. Yeah, Dylan McGregor near missed the New Zealand TQ champs, with a flat tyre in the final. But, we're pretty good across the board. We're pretty well lucky with what we've got.
Book always talks about your hospitality. It's above, a lot of other tracks around the country in that regards. And I hear a lot around it from drivers and everything. But let's talk about those volunteers, 50 on a race night, mate. What keeps 50 volunteers coming back every race weekend?
Oh, we're just very lucky, eh? We try and treat them well and have a good time, and at the end of it, like Brooker knows, at the end of it, we all sit down and have a beer and have a laugh, and, we have the odd shed barbecue and a few things, that everyone gets into. So we're pretty lucky, really.
I think another thing too, Kins, which you don't see a lot of clubs do nowadays, is that on a 2-night meeting, competitors are allowed to stay in the pits if they want, and the next morning the club puts on a breakfast. For $10 you get this big feed of bacon, eggs, hash browns, sausage. It's just fantastic, and I think that's something that also attracts people for those 2-night meetings, that little bit of extra. You wake up in the morning, you come to the club rooms and you have a cooked breakfast as well, and that's just that little bit. I think those are the little things that make clubs do that thing, and I can see some changes happening through Meeanee too, which we'll talk to Regan about, that I see as a positive for that more friendly atmosphere as well, and I think if more clubs do that, we're just going to encourage so much more better meetings,
He's right, Sam? He's actually pretty well nailed that right on the head. I think if you look after the competitor, they're able to stay there. But if you give them something to eat at a real minimal cost, they're going to be happy, and then they're going to tell everyone they'll want to go back. It's pretty well a no-brainer, basically.
Yeah, we sort of try our hardest, eh? You can camp here, you can wash your car here, you can work on your car here. We've got workshops you can use here. We've got a courtesy van here that we can get you anywhere you need to go. It's just, we try our hardest to make it possible to make people want to come back.
Oh, I don't know about this courtesy van, kids. I might have to use that. Holy heck. What?
You've got your.
Well, you normally park out the back.
Yeah, well, that's true too. I haven't got to go anywhere.
People just wake up at 1, 2, or 3 o'clock in the morning.
Oh yeah, that was. I learned that lesson. Don't park beside the club room. I can't park there anymore because they extend the club rooms in my park. So, but yeah, it's yeah. But you're very lucky, I suppose, in the aspect as well that it's probably very rare that a track has a workshop at the end of it like what you've got to help competitors, though, Sam, as well, isn't it?
Yeah, we're just very fortunate for what we've got. We own it all outright, so we don't have any consent issues or anything as such, that tells us we can't do what we want to do. We just carry on and do whatever.
The other part I want to recognise about your track, and me and Booker have seen this multiple years, the G has a big following, mate, and it doesn't get any bigger than you see the fans that turn up every year at Palmerston North, and the event I'm talking about. Mate, what is it about the track that just generates so many fans? They just walk around with the big flags representing the G. What is it?
Oh, I think the Rees boys have got a big part to play in that. They've got a big following themselves, and we've managed to work a deal between us that works for everyone and try and keep everyone happy.
Yeah.
Good on you.
So you guys will be working on your calendar for the season after this weekend. That's when you'll sit down as a club and nut out what's what and where's where.
Yeah, we're sort of running very similar to last year. We'll just sort of tweak our dates to suit what's going on in the times that we want to run. We'll run probably 3 2-night meetings, to try and get more outsiders to come through.
Oh, yeah, I suppose that's different. That'd be something different for you guys, is it? Because everyone says it's not such a big hike to Gisborne. I suppose it is, but I don't mind the drive myself. Personally, that's me, in my opinion. But I suppose a 2-night meeting would suit you guys more for a competitor to come to, wouldn't it? Because then they don't have to travel back that next day, and they've got that advantage. They can stay there if they want in the track. So is that more your preference to run a 2-night meeting to sort of encourage more competitors, where most tracks want to run a single meeting, get it done and move on?
Yeah, we sort of find that the 2-night meetings, we're filling up our whole pits. Like the last meeting, you couldn't get another car in there. We had 150 odd competitors, which is really good for us. But yeah, financially, it's better off to run 1-night meetings, one good meeting, but to get the good meeting, you've really got to get the cars here, so hence why we have to run the Friday night before it.
Yeah, sort of a catch-22 for you, isn't it? You're sort of stuck between those two options, but yeah. I do encourage anybody that wants to go to Gizzy on a 2-night meeting to go, because you will not regret it. It's that simple. And I've never seen... every time I've gone there, I've never seen any problems or arguments in the pits between anybody. It just seems to flow very friendly and very nice.
Yeah, we try to run a reasonably quick race meeting too. You know, we like to get through our racing within 2.5, 3 hours, and move on and have a good time in the club rooms.
Yeah. Well,
Boys that want to travel home afterwards, it allows them to get going on the road early.
Yeah. And I know I know how you feel because people's starting to get bloody late now. People are getting tired and everything like that, which is a good thing what you're doing with that concept. Let's talk about this Friday. Obviously, Josh and with the 240s, the opportunity to go across over to the UK, represent New Zealand with other drivers as well from New Zealand. But you got a big build-up for the fundraiser for him on Friday night.
Yeah, we've been very lucky with getting a lot of stuff donated and whatnot. And Josh has been a very good club competitor, you know, for several years now. He's been pretty loyal to Gisborne and always got here as much as he can, you know. And he's got a lot of time for our mini stock kids and our up-and-coming drivers. He spends a lot of time helping them. So, yeah, it's good to see that we can give something back at the end.
Yeah, and he would appreciate that as well, because he's been involved with so many other these type of events, and it's about time he got over there. And we're going to try and get there, obviously, and see how we can work things out to be part of Friday. But you also have your prize given on the Saturday night.
Yeah, hence why we're doing it on Friday night. Just all our out-of-town competitors can all come home and we can all have a good night together and try and support Josh as much as we can.
Yeah. Off-season, Sam, what's going on with the off-season? I suppose you're going to get a little break. You kind of put a calendar together after this weekend. And do you get a bit of a downtime for you personally? Do you take a little bit of time off?
Not so much. We've sort of been pouring concrete for the last probably 3 weeks. Every week we have a concrete pour going on somewhere, and we're sort of just renovating the club rooms and doing a few jobs, a lot smaller jobs than last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, last year we had a crazy off season. You know, we built our beer garden, we did all our seating, we did all our toilet blocks, and spent a lot of money doing it.
Yeah. But on a personal note, do you do anything with other stuff in the off season? Do you get out and do what? Gisborne, I'm guessing, or do you go fishing or anything?
Yeah, we do a little bit of fishing, mainly social sort of fishing.
Drop the rod in the water, drink 6 cans,
Yeah, and hope that something jumps on it.
What about the town of Gisborne? You know, what's it like for most of the townies over there in Gizzy? You get a few of the locals come along and kids from the schools and whatnot. What's the impact from the town itself for the Speedway?
Well, at the moment, like, we run darts right through the winter time as a fundraiser. Like tonight, we've got probably 80 to 100 people in the club rooms here. So that runs every second Wednesday. We sort of run. We have a few working bees come social Sundays that sort of get everyone back together again. But it doesn't really stop here. We've sort of there's always something to do.
Yes, mate. I think if there's a section in the Speedway Awards for the Social Club of the Year, it'd be one of them, mate. I'll nominate you.
Yeah, we're just starting to run more and more training days for our mini stocks. You know, we've got a lot more mini stocks coming through now. So last weekend we had half a day on a Sunday of the kids going round and round and round and having a bit of fun, and a few of the old fellas in the classics having a go, and we're planning on another one in the next 3 or 4 weeks. So we'll sort of, we're pretty much going to run right the way through in this off season just for the kids and whatnot.
Yeah.
So you run extra stuff in the off seasons for the new mini stockers to learn to get up to speed for the season starts.
We run training days so they can run 3 cars at a time, and they can do 100 laps, you know, if they want to, or whatever it takes to get confident, I guess, is where we head. And then we have a barbecue and a beer and that afterwards. And
I love it.
It's quite good.
Yeah, it is. I love what you're saying there as well. And I was thinking about too, because I've done a few mini stock events over the season, and it's always somewhere along the line there's a car with a G on it. If it's not a bloody G, it's a car with a B. Those two seem to be competing against each other, the G and the B in the mini stock class. But good on you for doing that, and Hey, what a way to start it. The little boys and girls might be out there winter chasing a netball, a rugby ball, a soccer ball, or a hockey stick around, but some parts of their day they get to go and do some laps and build their confidence. It's a real good thing, eh, Books? You know what the Gizzy Club are doing?
I think that's quite neat, actually. I mean, I don't know. I mean, like, I understand that there's probably some clubs, well, a few clubs probably, that can't do that in the off season because they're just restricted, that they just can't do that. You know, the council own it, or, you know, so there's restrictions on what they can do. But a club like Gisborne that's owned, they can, the likes of Huntley could probably do the same thing too, kids, you know, to go out and think outside the square to say, hey, let's train our kids up in the off season and make it a social and really enjoy it. I mean, that's a great atmosphere for them and a great thing, because like most kids have to go to something like Harrisville to do a few laps and learn. But at Gizzy, you can, like you said, some of the classics, golden oldies, get out there. I suppose does old Steve McCafferty get out there in his Sam, does he, and do a few laps on those as well? They take every moment he can.
Yeah, he had his car out here, and Clyde McGorry had a go in it, and Mike Beale had a go in it, and yeah, a few of the old fellas that haven't raced for a few years, they all had a go. You know, we had half a dozen new street stock drivers that came out and had a go, and street stocks, and yeah, it's the only way we're sort of going to build our club, so it's sort of put a bit of time back into it.
Good on you, mate. Obviously, talking of the club now, this is your chance because obviously you said 50 volunteers turn up, but there's the committee that puts endless hours. You've got your sponsors that are associated with it. But, you know, it's a chance to say thank you to everyone out there because it just doesn't happen with one person. It's a team effort.
Oh, very much so, yeah, on our side. It's huge. You know, our committee have to work really hard. You know, this week here is like a 7-day event pretty much for us. We had a committee meeting last night. They're running the club rooms, running darts tonight. Tomorrow night's set up for Josh's. The next night's Josh's fundraiser. The next night's the prize giving. Sunday's clean up and get started again. And then Monday they're back here doing the calendar next week.
Mate, no rest for the wicked, eh? No rest for the wicked. Wow. And that's what some people need to realise, and Booker and I talk about this a lot. You know, there is a lot, and Sam's just explained that happens to make sure he was the person that goes along to support the club when you put your tracks on and whatnot. You know, there's a lot of work that goes in those books. There's just so much.
Oh, mate, yeah, and we've heard it from every promoter that's been on so far. It's the same repetitiveness that we hear, and there is just so much work to bring us, the spectator, the fan, something to go and watch and put our backside trackside and watch it. And the best way that we can repay all of our tracks, our local tracks, the tracks we love going to, is get our backside trackside, because that helps keep the track going.
Yeah, definitely. And, you know, if you see some of these volunteers, whatever the roles they may be doing at these tracks, because we're going to continue on the series of what we do on a Wednesday night, a simple 2 words, thank you. That means so much to them all, because they give up their time. Like Sam says, you know, these are all volunteers, and they give up these Saturdays to be part of making sure everything operates and runs smooth. So if you walk past one of them, just say thank you, shake his or her hand, and just say you really appreciate your night, you know, because that goes a long way, eh, Sam, those 2 words, thank you.
Oh, definitely, you know, like, yeah. It's definitely hard when you don't pay anyone. You expect them to turn up all the time, you know, and a little bit of a thank you goes a long way.
Definitely, mate. All right, well, we'll let you go and do what you need to do. I hope all goes well on Friday and Saturday, and there's no rest for you guys there until Monday. You got to get your new schedule out and everything like that. But, you know, any last words you want to say, Sam, before we wrap it up with you, mate?
Oh, no, just thanks to you guys for doing what you guys do, and all the people that have made the effort to travel through and support us. Our little club sort of can't survive on its own now, so we need as many travelling sort of people as we can. So, yeah, thanks to everyone for the support.
Awesome, Sam. That fire looks so inviting. When you
it does, eh, behind the fire, and I can hear the bottles rattling in the club rooms back there. So, yeah. No worries, mate. Thanks for joining us, taking the time out to do that, Sam, and we'll see you Friday.
Yep, no worries. We'll catch you then.
All right,
thanks,
take care, mate.
Appreciate it.
Cool.
Here we go, another club, and that's they're making things happen. You know, these clubs that we're seeing, each Donkin's coming on, they've all got different. They talk about different things, but they all have the same goal, don't they? Really, and that's just to bring an event to us each week in the season that we can all enjoy.
Definitely, and he's reiterated the words that we've spoken to other, presidents or promoters of tracks, and it's the volunteers. They acknowledge all of them. Aaron Ferguson, mate, how are you? Grant Hayes, kia ora to you. Mark Goodman, Wayne Otton, Tony McGrath, Samantha Kiss. Wayne Otton was a wicked weekend up there in Taipaha. Thanks for all the photos. Evening to you, Samantha Kiss, Noah Britton, Carlo Putaranui, Thomas Ladder, Laws, mate. G'day to you, Loz, over there at Nos. Darren Letwood, Barry Hunter. We're all good, mate. Paul Owen. Who else we got here? Craig Chatfield. How are you, Chatty? Richie Mason. Wayne Brunton. Hugh, congratulations. Thanks, Wayne. Thank you, mate. Muddy Goodley back in there. Paul Owen. Old pundit. Daniel Petrie. Tracy Vincent. Paul Owen. Thanks, Paul. See you there. All right, Trace, we'll see you there. Troy Adamson, he's busy watching the Warriors. What about the red bands? Should I wear them with a suit, Tracy? Should I wear some red bands, eh?
Gumbridge and red bands, that's us, is it?
That might be it. Simon Matthewson, top effort all around, putting Gisborne on the map. Mate, they deserve, every track deserves to be on the show. We're going to recognise them for all of their mahi behind the scenes. Brian Anglin. What else we got here? Mike Q, how you going? Bevan Gilgore, Dave Thomas. Yeah, JC Speedway's another one. Pete Rose. Oh, Mike Max watching, mate. East Coast Proud, Wayne Brunton. Oh, we'll carry on and we might as well catch up with Regan. Should we bring Regan in box?
Oh, I suppose.
Yeah, I suppose,
Oh,
eh?
there is. Oh, look,
There
shit,
is.
my finger just slipped.
What'd you do?
Oh, here we go.
Oh, my buttons, it's stuck. I don't know what to do.
Okay, I'll send you a hammer. Hold on.
Hey, I had to play it in the new studio. Hey. Come on, the bay. That's it. Hey. Oh, you gotta love it.
Oh, shit, I know what's going to happen.
Sorry, my finger slipped. Everyone knows I'm biased, but hey.
You know what's going to happen? The SNZ Awards. I know exactly.
Yeah, I'll get up there and sing "Come on, the Bay" if we win.
You're going to get someone to push it up. Regan, mate, how are you? Good. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, good. Thanks, guys. No, it's good to be back on. It's been a little while since I've been on here.
So what's been happening in your neck of the woods, mate? Keeping the saloon on four wheels or what?
Yeah. Since I what was that? End of October or something, November.
Yeah.
Kept it on four wheels since then.
Yeah.
But I only raced probably, I think I did 6 meetings in it all up. So bit of a quiet season, but it was pretty cool. It was, but definitely a different class.
Yeah. Well, how are you finding that class? Because you're used to bumpers, mate, and whether you're giving it or taking it on the bumpers, but this is a different kettle of fish altogether.
It is, yeah. I said to Grant Flynn, I said, I reckon we need brake lights because before you know it, some dudes are braking in front of you. But yeah, no, you definitely got to look. I think racing stock cars and super stocks, you're always looking ahead to see what's happening. So super saloons, you got to do the same thing because there's no clutch. There's just a brake. So if there's a car spins in front of you, you got to sort of think pretty quick. Otherwise, you end up in the side of the car in front of you. But yeah, no, I've really enjoyed it. Like the power. I thought going from stock cars to super stocks was awesome. Going from super stocks to super saloons was like, wow. The power, the grip, the braking, it just blew me away. I wish I'd done it earlier, actually. I reckon if I'd done it 4 or 5 years ago, I would have been in super saloons a lot longer.
Oh, wow. That's interesting, eh?
Yeah. It was cool. It's what I said to Corin. He took my car out a couple of meetings there, just wheel packing and a couple of laps and broke it, as he does. But then I said to him, get in the car, and he did the last meeting in Palmy, and that would be the biggest smile I've seen on his face for probably 2 or 3 seasons.
Wow.
He was fuzzing. He can't wait to get into super saloons next year.
Yeah, he looked pretty happy when he was walking after the meeting. I was standing by the car at Murray's. We saw him walk past going in his car, and he was still smiling. So I spotted him because his teeth were showing. He was smiling so big, So, but yeah, it's cool. But on another subject away from that, how have you found your first year as club president, mate? How's that been?
Good. Yeah, definitely. I wouldn't say challenging, but yeah, like I've really enjoyed it. Like I'm fuzzing. I'm looking forward to next season. I'm buzzing like for next season. There's a lot of things, that you sort of come in and I just sort of just step back and just sort of let everything happen, like just carry on. And like I do with work, I sort of observe how everyone acts and how everyone goes and how things work. And then halfway through the season, I didn't want to really come in, rip shit and bust, and you upset everyone and everyone leaves, and suddenly you're there trying to run the whole bloody place by yourself,
Yeah.
Because as Sam said, they got 50 volunteers a night, so you need everyone there. But I looked at how the season went. I was pretty happy with how everything went. I think we had 2 rainouts of the year. So, but yeah, it was cool. It was exciting. Big learning curve. But really enjoyed it. I can't wait for next season.
Yeah. And that's what I like. It's a learning curve, and you got to have that open mindset about yourself. You're learning all the time, and you want to share and take other ideas. You only can run a ship if it's a team effort.
Yep.
And you don't want to go in there, like you say, pretty well lock, stock, and smoke and barrel and piss everyone off. And holy hell, you're running the show by yourself, But good on you for stepping up. I know you've been around it for many, many, many years, and the humility that you bring to a side from you being a competitor, the fun character that you are. And I know you're a fun character. You're always up for a laugh. But good on you for stepping up and doing what you do. And just go through some of the seasons, some of that highlights for those who never made it to Meeanee, who missed out on some of the big events.
Yeah, so obviously this year we didn't really have any big championship meetings. Sort of Peterbury teams was our biggest one we had this year. And once again, the Peterbury teams always affected by weather. So leading up to the Peterburys, we had the rain and the Friday night, wheel packing, and me and like Mike Mack, we're out there for hours, and the track crew and everyone there, and getting a racetrack. And obviously, the Saturday was a big day wheel packing, and then obviously Sunday, I know we had a lot of out of towners that had to travel back home Sunday night. So we tried to start the meeting as early as we could with St. John's and all that. So the second day there was some brutal hits being put in. So it was another great Peterbury's, and it was good to see, and good to see another meeting for Pete. And then just obviously, tried a couple of things. We ran a little kids area this year of bouncy castles at our fireworks meeting to see 50, 60 kids on bouncy castles and getting face painted and the smiles. And it was quite amazing how many families came out to Speedway that night that had never been to Speedway. But seeing the bouncy castles, been a firework meeting, thought, we'll go and give it a shot. And they were like, do you do this every week? I'm like, no, not every week. But we're doing it tonight. So, it was that was one of those things. I didn't know how it was going to go. But it worked out well. So we're doing the same thing again next year. Then we had our 60th year meetings, which one got affected by rain. Then the second one, we had all the historic cars, all Elvis and the boys come up in their stock cars. And yeah, it was overall, I was pretty stoked with the whole season. And then like Easter weekend, we were affected by rain again. So we ran the one night at Easter, which turned out to be a big night, but it was a bloody good night. So hence the reason next year we've only got the one night of Easter. 2 years in a row we've rained out on Friday night. So
Wow.
Next year we'll just do the one night and try and make it one big night. I've sort of got some good positive feedback from competitors that were racing that was quite good for the one night. So also frees you up. You can shoot away Sunday, Monday still for a bit of a short holiday if you wanted to. Because, people outside of Speedway have still got families and wives to keep happy.
I like that last one. I like that last one you got in there.
Yeah. But yeah, so the whole season was good to see. What the biggest thing actually really that I'll take out of this season was the club spirit. The amount of people stepping up, putting their hand up, going, look, I'm here every week. If you want a hand, just yell out at me, sing out, I'll help. And so we took some of those people up on their offers, and they didn't say no. They were like, yep, I'll do that. And I'll be lap scoring all night, and then I'm going off to the bar and I'm helping in the bar. So the amount of people that were coming forward to offer the help to the club was out the gate. So that was probably the biggest thing that I really enjoyed this year was the club spirit. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
you
cool.
could feel that when you're out there too, like I did the guest helped you out one night with the commentating, and it was just everybody was just having fun. It was awesome. It was cool. Really made me really enjoy myself, and it was just a lot of fun. Those guys in the box there helping out, having fun, and the referees beside me were even having fun, and giving me a bit of stick, and it was just really enjoyable, and it was good to see that in place, that everyone enjoying themselves, eh?
Yeah. Well, that's one of my things is, like I've obviously grown up through Speedway with little kids, and I know when my kids were misbehaving or playing up at Speedway, the wife was like, bugger this, I want to go home and take the kids home. So, my biggest thing is if we can keep the kids happy and entertained, that's going to keep mum happy. And if mum's happy, dad's really happy because he gets to start Speedway longer.
Yeah.
But if the kids have been little shits, mum's not happy and dad's not happy because he's got to leave Speedway. So, it's really interesting. I'm trying to bring in the family again and trying to get our shows over and done with by 9:30. There was a few late meetings this year. Couldn't be helped. One night we had, I think the first TQ race went for 18 minutes. We had spin outs, we had rollovers. So it was a catch-22. The meeting dragged on, but carnage-wise, the night was huge with carnage. So, it's a juggling act. But, I think if TQ spin out too much or roll, we just cut them short.
Look, I think the TQ racing at Meeanee, that night that I was there for the commentary, that TQ racing was out the gate fantastic to watch. I mean, I was yelling and screaming. I got overexcited, and mate, it was just such good racing, and I've really noticed an upturn in the racing side of it watching the TQs at Meeanee the last couple of seasons. And I think for an open wheel class, everyone wants to go watch super stocks and stock cars and crash and bash, but you look around in those racing, everybody's glued, mate, and I think that's a real testament to the way it's being run, and the drivers are tuning up to race there, and it's just creating great racing.
Yeah, that's it. Every meeting we've had TQs, we've had full fields, if not more. It's the racing. I actually got to watch TQs quite a bit this year, and as the season went on and the track got more moisture, you were there Easter weekend, eh, Books?
Yes.
That obviously we had the rain out the first night. The second night, the TQ racing was outstanding. Like they didn't have, I don't think they had one crash the whole night. The racing was close. It was awesome racing. The track was driving. So those boys, they put on a show, and they know how to pedal. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I actually looked at going TQs, but then I seen them flipping higher than the fence, and with 100 kilos coming down from that height, I wasn't having that. I thought, I might give TQs a miss.
You hop on a bigger body car so you can
But there's no crumple zone in a TQ.
No. But when I was down there for the NZs a little while back, and just how you felt the vibe of the club and everything was so welcoming. I kept telling Booker this is just such a cool feeling, a cool buzz to be there, and the racing that I enjoyed. I watched the street stocks as well and going reverse and everything. Every bloody race there was bloody entertaining.
Yeah,
you got money, you got your value for money, so that's kudos not only to yourself but your committee, but all of those volunteers. I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it, mate.
Yeah. And that's the thing with coming back to club run. It's our second season club run. We've been promoted run for 15, 17 years, and last year, like you say, with the New Zealand Super Stocks, the club members that stood up, followed on again this year, and more stood up this year and volunteered, and that's the thing. That's what we want to do. We want to bring that club back, and it's just it's rewarding having a good season and all these new club members just wanting to help and people wanting to get stuck in. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, very cool. All right, let's roll on now to feel the rush, chase the thrill. I see it on the big Meeanee Speedway flyer you put out, mate. You got a few practices coming up in October, but like you say, opening night, 24th of October, the next biggie is going to be the fireworks, so 1st of November.
Yeah, Yep. So, you know, a bit of a change this year for us. I wanted to, you know, we had talked the other night. I wanted to get the calendar out early. You know, we're always sort of one of the last ones to have our calendar out, and we've got to sort of move dates to try and fit other tracks, as everyone does. But we've got a few different changes this year to our calendar, so I wanted it out nice and early so people can, you know, prepare, get ready. Opening night, we're opening night on Friday this year. You know, in previous years, it's been Sunday, Saturday opening. We've got 660 playing here at a winery on the Saturday night.
Right.
You know, you go to 660 on a Saturday night and you have a late one, and you wake up Sunday, you're hungover. You're not going to go to Speedway the next night, you know, unless you're a diehard. So why not start Friday night? It's a holiday for us, but it's also the long period of, what is it, like 15 weeks from Matariki to Labour Weekend. Yeah. So hopefully we'll get some out-of-towners come down here Friday night. Then they can carry on to Palmerston Saturday night. Then you can carry on to Wellington Sunday night if you want to. You know, or you can come race Friday night and go 660 Saturday night. So I'm hoping to get a bit of, you know, people for 660 that have got to come down Friday will come out to the Speedway. So a bit of an experiment. Hopefully it works, and see how it goes. Then if not, you can race Friday night and you can bugger off to Taupo for a couple of nights and have a holiday. You know? So, yeah. And then obviously, here we go into our fireworks, which is always a great meeting. You know, I'll be looking at doing the family bouncy castles again this year. And then the third meeting, we've got a new one, ladies' night. So haven't quite nailed down a name for this, but we're working on it. So we're hoping to have a full field of female stock cars and a full field of female mini stocks, and that'll be their night. It'll be all about the females that night, all about the ladies. We'll obviously have other classes, but yeah, hoping to run them and then do a bit of a pairs thing with them that night as well. So, you know, we've got 5 or 6 females that race stock cars and about the same in mini stock. So sort of about looking after our locals and giving back to them as well, and having a championship or a meeting for them at our track.
There's a few talking about that, ladies, since that came out, though. I've seen a bit of it, people talking and excited. There's a bit of excitement building about it, you know. Do we get smartkins and be like Peter Ed, say it's out of the kitchen racing, or is it...
Nah.
There's a lot of girls, like Levi was on here before, saying she's looking forward to it and hope it doesn't clash with dates. And it's I think it's a great initiative, and yeah, it's a lot of clubs are starting to do it, and let's give back to all competitors, give them a chance, you know.
Yeah. You know, there's you know, a lot of competition out there for males and females. The females have got their you know, Aotearoa champs and Rotorua 240s weekend, but you know, why can't they have a, I don't know, fastest female of the East Coast or something like that, you know? And you know, I've always been a big supporter of girls in stock cars and mini stocks. Obviously, my daughter, you know, she won the Aotearoa girls round one year.
Yes.
So I know she wanted to race again this year, but thanks to Corbin, she's pregnant again. So we're out of the cars. So yeah, but yeah, so it'd be good to give back to we've got some good female racers. Courtney Hatton, you know, Lauren Gallup and Lauren Swift were down in Nelson. They got 4th, 5th, and 6th overall. You know, I was stoked to see that all 3 of them so close to the podium. Would have been good if those 1st, 2nd, and 3rd all bummed out, and we could have been Hawke's Bay 1, 2, and 3. You know, so I really love watching the ladies stock cars and the mini stocks. You know, young Peyton Swinnell this year going over to Aussie and representing New Zealand and the club. You know,
awesome.
She's going to kick Brie Loveridge out of that seat in no time in that super stock.
You're right.
So yeah, so it's good. So we've got a few little sponsors coming on board for that. So once we nail down them, we'll advertise all that for them and get that out there.
I suppose your big one is the Bin High New Zealand Super Saloon Champs, and I was at Bay Park at the NZ the season just gone, and I bumped into one of the ladies on your committee there, and she was talking to me about the Super Saloon Champs, and there may be one of her babies on your committee. I can't remember her name. I apologise for that. But, yeah, you're having a good old yak about it, and mate, the excitement around this event, and I'm looking forward to joining up with books for this big event and sitting where he is and doing a big build up around this. But mate, come into February, I tell you what, no other track should be racing on the 27, 28, and
Hey,
they should be coming along and sitting their backside trackside at Meeanee Speedway, because it's not the big wide open track like the Bay Parks. It's because you've raced it.
Yeah, I've got I've got the rain booked for the week leading up to it, and if it decides not to turn up, I've got 16 water trucks lined up. So we're not going to have a slick 4-bar track. It's going to be an even. It's going to be an even track for all competitors.
Yeah,
might be wet and rough, but no. It's going to be a huge weekend. Thanks to Dan Monteperto from Binhire. He's jumped on board as the main sponsor. He's what is his first full season? He raced a part season last year in Super Soons. Loves it. He's actually got a new car coming. So it's going to be exciting. I think we could be up to about 12 or 13 Super Saloons at Meeanee registered. We know the Flynns, they've got another car in their camp. I think Jake may be running that out of Christchurch. And then obviously, we've got the likes of Stanaway, Tom, the Flynn boys. Kevin Martin's gone bloody well this year. They got third in the GP in Auckland. And then obviously Kyron, he picks up his Super Saloon at the end of the month. So he's done a deal on his super stock. And so as long as he doesn't take me out, then we'll have 12 at once. So yeah. So it's going to be really cool having that New Zealand Super Saloon champs at Meeanee, long straights, tight corners. Yeah. I've got 16 spare panels on order. Probably need them for every race. But it's it's going to be pretty cool.
Yeah,
can't wait.
Yeah,
well, it won't rain because it never rains on that weekend.
Nah,
On the 27th, I know this for a fact.
Yeah, because what's someone's birthday that weekend, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's always a sunny day, so there you go. We'll be right.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's pretty cool. And then we go from the New Zealand Super Saloons. I think we've got a 2-week or 3-week break after that. Then straight into the Peterborough Stock Car team. So be another great year. Hopefully it doesn't rain.
Yeah.
I'm not going to miss the Peterbarys this time. I'm telling you now.
Yeah, that's right. You weren't there last year. You were down south.
South.
And then I went to watch it after the fact. Stayed away from everybody. Everyone knew I didn't want to know the results.
Yeah.
We put it up at the club rooms in Cromwell, I think.
Yeah.
And put it up on their big projector screen and sit down and a team come up and I said, oh, God, I hope they don't win it. And then Peter Eves goes, oh, it piss you off. They won, wouldn't it? I'm like, are you kidding me, Peter? And everyone just laughed. The whole club room's roared with laughter because they knew I'd been trying to not see the results.
Yeah.
We were only doing Grand Parade and I found out what was happening. I was like, oh.
Yeah. It was a good weekend, that one. They were Morland's boys, we won't talk about that, but yeah, it was a great weekend. But yeah.
I think Booker from memory who had the biggest smile when I caught up with them at Huntly, and the Mauler boys came up here and did what they did at Huntly at one of the early races in the season.
Made you commentators in the box look silly, didn't we? Asked Meeanee Maulers, mate.
Huntly.
Hey.
Yeah.
But recognising also the Hawkeyes as well. They got themselves a team together to go. Obviously, they're heading down to Wonga's down there recently, but also at Palmy, mate. So they come together and represent the club proud. So it's cool.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's I've been around the Hawkeyes for 10 plus years now, and that team there was good to see them. It's sort of not scraped together a team, but they used a team at Palmy, and then obviously in Wanganui. Obviously Quinn Ryan sold his car, and a couple of the other boys couldn't make it. So it was good for old Vasey and old Stuart to step up. And but yeah, unfortunately we all know what happened on Wanganui, and the boys couldn't carry on team racing. But it was good to see them get together and have a team, and they'll have another team now. I know they're working behind the scenes to build another team for next season already. So it's going to be good to get behind them.
Yeah, I caught up with Macca earlier on today, and I says, "Oh, is it true that Quinn Ryan's got a new super saloon?" I was going to start that bullshit rumor for you.
Yeah. So he's going to have a couple of years, or he's retired for now. But I've said to him, mate, the super saloon's there. You can jump in and have a skid if you want. it's one of those things. I was spoken to Stanaway, and he got blown away when he hopped in his one. He's like, mate, should have done this years ago.
Apparently, Quinn loves midgets, bro. Wants to have a jam in a midget, eh?
Yeah.
So you got Jason Long too in there too as well.
Yeah,
he's in the saloons too, It's just
Yeah.
And people, have got to realise too. It might be not considered narrower track, but mate, we get too wide racing around that track all the time in the saloons and those super saloons, and it's an absolute spectacle. I remember one night we had Binkston on the outside and Finney on the inside. They were side by side for about 6 laps. It was just outstanding racing, and it just You want to go to that meeting. Well, you want to go to every meeting. I need to be honest with you.
Well, that's, like this, this year we've got 15 meetings, and we want to do 15 good meetings and put it all on and put a good show on to get those people to come back to Meeanee. So, we've got some changes coming up over in the off season. We changed full-time last year to the Flickr online ticketing system. So we're sort of changing our ticket boxes around. We're going to make a new entrance, 5 or 6 meters down from the ticket box. So if you've already got a prepaid ticket, you can just walk straight for that gate. You don't have to worry about going and buying a ticket or lining up to come in through the narrow gate. So, just getting some prices for new gates at the moment, and we'll lay a new entryway on either side for that. So doing some upgrades there, and concrete walls had a bit of a pounding over the years with Tony Derrick slamming cars into it. So we, get a concrete repair on the wall in turn 1 and 2 and down in 3 and 4. And so, so we've got working B dates. I've sat down today finally and whack some working B dates together, and just got to get it okay from the council, and we can go out there on the weekends that we need to and do all our working Bs. And Dave Haddon's managed to score us a toilet block, so we hope to have that behind the Hughes toilet block in there, and he's got that donated to the club. So, there's a lick of paint and a bit of work, and we'll tidy that up. So there's a bit happening, it's good. We look at Gisborne and what they've done with their seating and toilet blocks and all that for that little club up there to do that, it's bloody great. So, that's the sort of things I want to start doing at Meeanee, and we'll start upgrading the place and getting a good facility. Like Sammy said, a good facility, you can run bigger meetings.
Mm-hmm.
So
I got introduced to the old buying online this year. Old Maru Goodley got me into it, and it's such a better way to do it. Buy your ticket online and just walk in and scan, and you're done. It's just so much easier. And you've done quite a few deals this season as well, where you buy early, you get cheaper and things like that. So it's worth people to watch that and get on board with that and look for the specials that you guys put out as well.
Yeah, we did that. Was it the Peter Barry's? I think it was. It was one of the meetings. Yeah, I think it was the Peter Barry's. We ran a little special for 3 days, and you bought 2 tickets for the price of 1.5, sort of thing. So, and that went off of a hit. So if we sell 50, 60 tickets will be good. I think we did about 12 grand's worth of sales for 4 days, and I was like, wow. So we'll be doing that next year. So everyone keep an eye on Facebook, and we'll just do a bit of a spot, right, 4 days, we're going to do a sale for this meeting here. And, and it's all about, we know those, people are going to turn up both nights of the diehard supporters. So why not give back to them a little bit? Money's not easy these days, and you've got to work hard for it. So we can also look after our competitors and our spectators, because without either of them, we don't have a speedway. So, it's great.
Yeah, I can tell it's great. I can just get the vibe from you, Regan. You've got it pretty well planned out, pretty well all bases covered, mate. But where do you get a bit of downtime, mate? Being a koro, do you get a bit of downtime within yourself in the off season?
I try to on the weekends. I get out on my ride-on lawnmower, mow my lawns. Hasn't happened for a little while. We've been a couple of boys down at work, so me and Corin have been flat out installing windows, and then obviously I'm in here at night time or at work quoting. But now that my grandkids are crawling and running, make a bit of extra time on the weekends for them, and just chill out. We're sort of lucky we've got a bit of a big property, and jump on the ride-on lawnmower. I taught my granddaughter on Monday, made her a block up for the pedals and chucked her on the ride-on lawnmower and got her up and down the drive. So next she's going to learn how to mow the lawns.
So we're going to catch up at the grand final. The Warriors make it later in October.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Already told the wife, get hold of some cheap flights, man. We're going to Sydney. Yeah. Hey,
I'll see you there, eh? I'll be
yeah.
there.
Up the wires, man. We'll be there. Hey, yeah. Can't let Troy Adamson be there on his own. He'll get in trouble. Hey.
Alan McRobbie will be there and a few others.
Yeah. I've seen their photos of Magic Round.
Yeah,
Hey.
I know.
Yeah.
Pissed me off. I wanted to go.
I know. So yeah. No, we're going back to grand final this year.
All right,
Yeah.
mate.
So no, it's good.
We'll organise our seats. Eh?
Yeah.
You want to come, Books? You want to come over to Sydney?
If my rabbits would make it, I'll be there.
Okay.
Unfortunately, we don't want to talk about that.
Mate, I had to pick up my phone and I'm zooming in and I'm like, where's that grey-headed old bugger?
Oh, yeah, Kinser.
Oh, he's Kinser. Hey, yeah. It was like the shine off my head. It was coming off yours. Yeah. It was a case you're right opposite us.
Yeah.
That was a good weekend.
Was a good weekend. Yeah, you can't beat it, you know. Even though it wasn't our teams, but the atmosphere, the fun about it, you can't beat it. We'll take
70,000 people.
Right, we'll take Books over to enjoy it one day. We'll leave him at King's Cross for the weekend.
Yeah. So yeah. No, it's good.
Love your mahi, bro. I love what you do with the club there as well. Love the personality. So keep it going. Wish you all the best for your upcoming season. And we'll catch up sometime soon, trackside. And yeah, thanks for joining us again, Regan, as always, eh?
Yeah, no worries. You know, it's hey, we couldn't do it at the club with all our volunteers, our committee, our promotions team. You know, everyone's putting in heaps of hours. You know, we've still got the boys going out there and mowing the lawns and keeping the place looking tidy. So, you know, it's not it's a huge team effort, but with everyone doing their little bit, it makes it bloody look beautiful, eh?
Yeah, 100%, mate. 100% agree with you. Take care, bro. And
awesome,
all the
guys.
best,
Thank you very much. And yeah, hey, good luck at the Speedway Awards, eh? I'll be there cheering you on.
Yeah.
That's it, mate. We're going to have a dance on the stage and celebrate that. Come on, the
dance
bass
on the stage. How about that? Shit.
Hey, yeah.
Won't dance on the stage, mate. There'll be a geotech or whatever it is. They'll say there's an earthquake in Auckland.
No, that's cool. Catch you boys up there.
See you later.
Okay, mate.
Cheers, bro.
Cheers, man.
Cheers, Regan.
See ya.
Oh,
there we go. 2 more tracks done. Both those tracks, Meeanee and Gizzy, are really looking like it's going to be an outstanding season for both of them, doesn't it, Kins? You know, they're just so positive and upbeat about it all. And when you see your members and your club members and everybody upbeat about it, it can only succeed.
100% agree with you again, Books. You know, team efforts, when you get the energy from those 2 gentlemen tonight, Sam and Regan, and how they build it around to meet everyone's needs, basically. Credit to everyone involved, you know, all of those volunteers, to the committee members, to those that do the hard work behind the scenes. Thomas Scott, mate, where our day's going good. Darren Lapwood loves your new studio.
I need to get a different seat, though. I think I'm a bloody jeez.
Back, eh?
Yeah.
Marcus and Kaylee Tin, how are you? Simon Smith, afternoon. Hey, evening, mate. Jason Wilson, Carl Carpenter, Robbie Maybe. Who else we got there? Let's go straight down. There's a list of people here. Mate, we've just got so many. Hawkeye Super Saloon team, mighty goodly. Samuel Ashton. Hey, Sam, mate. Jennifer Adams, Byron Dixon, Peyton Wilson. And this is why we do our show, you know. It's used the fans out there, and we always reiterate that as well. And hey, Courtney Hatton, how are you going, Courtney? But yeah, it's just the fans that enjoy watching on a Wednesday. And again, as we started the show, recognising all the finalists at the upcoming Meeanee Speedway Awards in Manukau, Auckland on the 5th of July, Saturday. Again, thanks to those who nominated us. Our show's in for a couple of categories, but again, recognising everyone in the multitudes of categories. I ain't going to go through it. There's just so much, but well done to each one, you, eh, Books?
Yeah, mate. Oh, yeah. It's a privilege to be a part of it with all those other media people, the photographers, the live streamers, everybody that's involved in our Speedway and puts it out there. It's a privilege to be working beside you amongst it all. So, yeah, good luck to everybody at the awards and get ready for that new season and get your cameras clean, get your memory cards sorted, and don't miss a moment of it and share it with everybody, because that's what it's all about. And the more we share it, the more people might go. So I might come across it on the Facebook or the or the Instagram or whatever else, the TikTok is it? I think it is. I don't know half of these things, but I might say, hey, shit, that's cool. Where do you watch that? And next minute you got another fan. So keep it up, everybody. You're all doing a fantastic job, and it's just awesome. Awesome to be a part of.
All right, take care. If you're getting along to help out with the fundraiser and Gizzy at Josh Prentice, enjoy the awards night as well on the following night, Saturday, Gizzy. I'll be over at Huntley with the Speedway Awards night on the Saturday, trying not to keep everyone up to date on the Chiefs Blues game as it unfolds at the same time at FMG Stadium. But otherwise, enjoy your weekend. Be safe. There is a very, very wet weather front across the whole country, settling in tonight through to tomorrow. That could even continue. I know it's getting down towards the Bay of Plenty East Coast area on the Thursday, Friday. So, geez. See what happens, but otherwise just take care. It is officially winter as of the weekend, the 1st of June, but we'll catch you back next week on Thursday with a very, very special show on Wednesday.
Yes, or haven't confirmed it yet, but we might have something different next week, so just stay tuned.
All right, take care, everyone. Be safe.
Thank you. See yous. Holy snapping duck shit.
My good mate from Bump and Run Booker joins us.
I'm excited for another great show tonight. Give it the hoot, Natty.